What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick 333. We are back with another round of the Florida Pokemon Trading Card Game Regional Championships. We got Ian Robb on the left, Nick Hackwaboard, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, on the right. Got a little distracted between these two rounds because I got a message from some dude I bought something from on eBay that says, hey, my item isn't as described, so you should cancel your order. If that's not fishy, I don't know what is. If there's something wrong with his item, he has to cancel the order and say, like, out of stock or something. Yeah, super fishy if they're gonna do it that way. Anyways. We've got some sort of Lost Box, probably Kyogre on the right-hand side. Ian Robb is playing Palkia. Ian's like the best player who always plays like the worst decks, and I never quite understand it. Palkia is just not that good anymore, but he's forcing it to work. So we are gonna do some comfy things as comfy does. It looks like water and metal, so this might actually be Goodra. Which is also not a very good deck in my opinion. It's good against Lost Box Mirrors. And it's good against Reggie. But otherwise it just doesn't really beat much else in my opinion, so... So we see those cool Diamond and Pearl era Quick Balls coming down here. I do love that Quick Ball art. I have 4 copies of that. And yep, that is a Goodra. So I wonder how this matchup goes. I guess Palkia probably won't be able to one-shot Goodra and then it can heal itself. Usually they don't play any healing cards in Goodra. It's just the... Moisture Star. But then Goodra can't one-shot Palkia either. And then Palkia has the Articuno in it that can paralyze. So yeah, I would think that Ian would be favored. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. He is playing the Inteleon line as well, which is just naturally good against Lost Box because they hit into you with a Cramorant and then you scoop up and then you hit them and put 20 on a Comfey and etc, etc. We are also seeing Irida to get Sobble Battle VIP Pass, which gets 2 more Sobble. So it's almost like using Keep Calling, but without having to use Keep Calling. So that's pretty cool. And just a pass, no energy attachment. That's not ideal. You usually want to see the energy attachment onto the Palkia V turn 1 so you can attach to it again turn 2 and attack. You can always use the V-Star power in order to put 3 energy into play, but again, you could load up 2 attackers if you just hard attach turn 1. Potentially like 2.5, so we are seeing some Radiant Greninja discards and draws. Already got 6 in the Lost Zone, 1 more and you can Mirage Gate. That Goodra did come down last turn, so hopefully you have a way to get the Goodra V-Star and just start attacking. How much does Goodra do again? 200? Yeah, that's not enough. We are going to Quick Ball away a Battle VIP Pass. You do not want to see that after turn 1, so might as well do that now. Gets another Goodra and passes. I think he knows that Ian can probably fill up his bench and do some Palkia shenanigans. Wants to have that second Goodra on the bench just in case the first one gets knocked out. We are going to see the Heavy Ball get the Radiant Greninja for Ian. He's going to write down what all his prize cards are. Shuffles that heavy ball into the prize cards. We are seeing the Evo Incense is going to grab that Drizzile. He's going to be able to now Shady Dealings for any item card. Why this card hasn't rotated yet is beyond me. They keep delaying rotation. They want it to line up more with Japan's, but we've been playing unrotated for like a full 2 years now. They could have done like, I don't know, a year and a half and then year and a half, instead of just skipping it and doing 2 years, because this format's starting to get real gross. It's like so luck-based because there's too many cards now. That's really usually how Expanded is just... It always comes down to luck because all the cards are just way too powerful. It doesn't really mean anything skill-intensive at the moment. Palkia itself is kind of skill intensive though, I will have to say. You always have to make the right Shady Dealings calls. We do finally see the energy come down onto the Palkia. If we see the Palkia V-Star come out and use its V-Star power, we could likely see a couple of Inteleons start getting loaded up. That would be nice to see. Unfortunately, I believe those will be able to be knocked out in one hit by a Goodra, though. But we just see the pass from Ian. Going straight into Nick's turn, he just immediately goes for the Colress's Experiment. Loving the pace of play from both these players, too. They know what they're doing. Looks like Drapeon's in there. That's an easy loss zone. You don't want that in this matchup at all. Looks like the boss as well. So we are going to keep that V-Star so we can evolve. Perfect. Oh, we got 2 of them there. That's pretty good. 270 HP now. And yeah, Rolling Iron does 200 and then reduces 80. So yeah, I guess they're like sort of two-shotting each other, but the Goodra can make it so the Palkia is more of a 3-shot potentially, while you're two-shotting them always, so yeah, it might be a little favored for Goodra. But we'll have to see. I'm sure Ian's tested this matchup extensively, so maybe he knows an out to this deck that I don't. Parasol gets Lost Zone, don't really need that in this matchup. Although, actually no, you might, because the Articuno can paralyze you. That should protect you from that paralysis effect. But anyway, we are seeing the Mirage Gate. Gonna start loading up a second Goodra, it looks like. And the Comfey so it can retreat. Attach for turn. We've got a fully powered up Hisuian Goodra V-Star now. Yep, just retreat into that, and we're going to Rolling Iron for 200 and then reduce 80. So especially since the Goodra was able to get the first attack off in this game, that's going to make it hard for Ian to overcome, because he's going to have to get through that effect of the attack there. So he's doing 2, 4, 6. Yeah, he's doing 200 right now, so that's 160. That's still enough to two-shot. Nick does have a lot on his bench. It's kind of how Lost Zone operates, though. You want to always have a couple of Comfeys. Irida for the Palkia V-Star and a Capacious Bucket. Capacious Bucket for 2 Water Energies. And, of course, playing the best energies ever printed, which are the Heart Gold Soul Silver energies. They're non-hollow, so they don't warp. And the water ones have Lugia on them. The dark ones have Umbreon. Psychic ones have Espeon. They have all sorts of different Pokemon. Fire have Ho-Oh. It's funny that the water ones have Lugia on them, though, because Lugia is not a water Pokemon. See the Scoop Up Net bringing back up that Inteleon. You can start using Quick Shooting on those Comfeys, too, to potentially get an additional prize during one of your turns. You could also attack with the Radiant Greninja at some point and knock out 2 Comfey at the same time. Still making some decisions here with this next Shady Dealings. I'm not sure what he wants to go for. Looks like it goes for the Training Court. That'll be a great way to get back more energy to keep using the Shady Dealings from the Radiant Greninja. You also might want to use your V-Star power now before you lose access to the Palkia in this game. I think you do have at least a couple energies in there. Uses Quick Shooting on the bench Goodra and then just attacks the active. Doesn't even use the V-Star power. I guess maybe it'll be more useful later in the game. He likely has access to something like a Raihan. He knows he's going to be going down in this next turn. Goodra could Moisture Star to make it so it doesn't get knocked out. I do see a Marnie as well. Looks like Ian got down paired as well. You see Ian's at 5-0-1 and Nick is at 5-1. So extra important for Ian to win here, because if he loses, he has a... I mean, either way, his resistance is bad since he got down paired. But you never want to lose when you're down paired. That just feels really bad. There is the Moisture Star fully healing off the Hisuian Goodra. Temple of Sinnoh, gonna make those special energies be worth 1 colorless with no other effect. So, completely useless in this matchup. Just getting that down just to make it so Ian can't recycle more water energies with the Training Court. Ian's doing some math in his head there. Thought about putting up the Manaphy? Is going in with the Radiant Greninja instead. Yeah, maybe this turn you want to try to do the Greninja's Moonlight Shuriken attack, but now that he has no Palkia in play, he's not really doing any pressure with any of his Pokemon. Oh, I think he wants to get the Articuno online. Although I'm not sure. I guess he could Scoop Up Net his active and then Raihan and attach for turn, maybe, but it looks like he is going for the Irida. Oh, gonna go for the Crabominable. I guess that's pretty good in this matchup as well, the Crabominable. Hisuian Goodra may attack with Metal Energy, but there are no Metal Pokemon in this deck to hit Crabominable for weakness. And its Destroyer Punch does do 90 plus 60 for each damage counter on the opponent's active. So after you get through that Moisture Star like he just did, he can just put some damage onto the Goodras and then one-shot them with the Crabominable. And they can't one-shot you back because they never play Choice Belt usually. Concealed cards draws 2 more. Taps it to show he uses it, immediately untaps it. And that's why you use the markers. Yeah, and then just Rolling Iron takes another prize. Ian hasn't taken a single prize yet, but he is playing chess, not checkers here. He knows that he just wants to set these 2 Goodras up to be able to not be knocked out with the Crabominable back to back. And then he effectively wins the game, because Nick really has to rely on his Goodras to take prizes. Especially in this matchup. Gonna quick ball away that Battle VIP pass because we don't need it. Quick shooting the active again. And that should be enough for the Crabominable to be able to take the knockout. Now, how is he going to get all of that energy? He needs 3 energy on his dude to attack. Looks like Ian's also playing Thornton. Choose a basic Pokemon in your discard, switch it with one of your basic Pokemon and play. Is he going to go into the Palkia and then evolve it into the V-Star? Oh, he can switch out the Sobble or the Manaphy? The Manaphy's been in play for more than a turn, so he switches it into Palkia, immediately evolves it. Evolves into the Quick Shooting. Loads up all of the... Oh, man. So he's able to do a second Quick Shooting this turn as well, since he just evolved into that Quick Shooting. Quick Shooting's there. Knocks that out with Crabominable. Wow, that's an amazing play. Again, chess not checkers with Ian Robb there. That was a beautiful play. I did not see Thornton coming. I had heard that he was playing Thornton. I completely forgot, honestly, until I just saw it. But yeah, gets rid of the Manaphy. He doesn't need that. Ends up turning it into a Palkia and just boom, evolves. And he gets the V-Star power out of nowhere. So it is very good that he held off on the V-Star power earlier. He knew that his win condition is Crabominable. So he wants to be able to get that in play out of nowhere and be able to take 2 prizes off of a Goodra. He needs to make sure it stays in hand or something so that it doesn't get damaged, so he can take the knockout on the first Goodra, and then the second Goodra can't one-shot you. So then you've already set up the second Goodra to be knocked out. Yeah, absolutely beautiful play. We see the Ordinary Rod's going to shuffle back in some Goodra pieces and energy. And the Mirage Gate to get this second Goodra going. But unfortunately, again, that Crabominable is, he's a hungry boy. He's going to be taking 2 prize cards off this next Goodra no matter what. Because Goodra can only do 200. Oh, actually, oh no, we get double scoop. We get Zigzagoon, Scoop Up Net, Zigzagoon. And then the Goodra can one-shot the Crabominable. So Ian still played it perfectly, but Nick just had everything to be able to slap it back. I know that these two tend to test together a lot. They are friends. So I'm fairly confident that they both knew exactly how to play this matchup. Yeah, I think Ian's a little pissed that that went down the way it did. But he knew it was possible. Can't see what he's playing because it looks like he put down another Palkia. Attaches and does quick shooting. I mean, still, if this Goodra goes down, what does Nick have to respond with? Oh, Escape Ropes puts up the second Palkia just to absorb damage. Hopefully Ian has a way to retreat that thing out with like his own Escape Rope or Switch or something. Switch, hit for 200. Oh no, he just passes? Yeah, I guess he just passed. He didn't even attack. And I think Ian scooped. Oh, I think maybe they both knew that Ian was out of energy, potentially. So by bringing that up and Nick passing, that just guarantees that Nick will win the game. Beautifully played. See, that's the kind of play that you want to see at these regionals. Alright, so going into game 2 here, we're going to see if anything relevant is prized. Not really. Nothing too important. Hisuian Heavy Ball, I guess, for Ian, but there's not really anything he wants to search for it with anyway. Start Sobble. Battle VIP Pass for, looks like Sobble Palkia. Capacious Bucket. 2 Water Energy. Likely going to attach to the Palkia. Yep, attaches to Palkia. As long as Nick is playing Cramorant, which I don't see why he wouldn't be, he might be able to get a knockout on this first turn. 2 Comfeys and a Colress's Experiment will always get you there. Yep, gets the Cramorant with the Heavy Ball. And as you can see that, this is peeling up again right here. It's peeling up. I gotta fix it. Glue it back down or something. Battle VIP Pass turn 1 is always what you want to see. Probably, yep, Comfey, Radiant Greninja. Very standard. Gonna go for the Colress's Experiment, so that is the first 2 in the Lost Zone. Looks like he gets 2 more Colress's Experiments off of that. He might Lost Zone one of them. Oh, and the Ordinary Rod is not ideal, but I think that's fine at this point in the game. Would have been nice if he had something in his deck like a Rangaroo. He could have put the Drapion on top so he could Lost Zone that with the Colress's Experiment. That's one of the plays I like to do when I don't need Drapion in a matchup. I'll put it on top of my deck and Lost Zone it with Comfey. Using the second Comfey, we already know that he has Cramorant available to him, so he might be able to attack this turn. He does have the Scoop Up Net, so he will be able to just take an easy prize on that Sobble with the Cram. We're going to see if he has any more in him, though. It looks like a Capture Energy. Gonna go in, grabbing probably a Goodra. Yeah, getting a Goodra. That way he has access to the V-Star on the next turn, potentially, when he's able to go to 7 cards in the Lost Zone and Mirage Gate. You always want to get the 1 Goodra down turn 1 if you can. Big Parasol on it, so it can't be paralyzed by the Articuno. Retreats into the Cramorant, takes the 1-shot on the Sobble, and now it's off to Ian. He's going to promote that Palkia, and he's likely going to be looking for a V-Star. And another energy he already has from the Capacious Bucket on the last turn. So he will be able to respond with a Cramorant knockout most likely, as long as he gets enough Pokemon on his bench. Which shouldn't be too hard with his Shady Dealings engine that he has going on there. don't know why I'm so tired. I actually slept well last night. Yep, so Shady Dealings for Irida. Very standard play in this deck. Irida grabs Subble and Quick Ball. Yeah, I know some people have been playing Irida in Lugia decks, actually. You can search for Luminion to get another supporter the next turn and an item card like Canceling Cologne. I feel like that's kind of bad, though. I like Tord's idea of playing the Skyla instead, because that could still get you it could still get you the Canceling Cologne if you really needed it, if you're playing that. But it can get you any other item or even trainer card as well. Especially after Scarlet and Violet comes out, it'll still be able to get tool cards, because they're trainer cards. But they will no longer be items after Scarlet and Violet comes out. So Irida won't be able to grab them then. We just see that knockout onto the Cram. Ian ties it up, 1 prize to 1 prize taken each. Nick's gonna Lost Zone a Battle VIP pass with that Chorus. That is pretty standard. Evolve to the Goodra. He's got the Mirage Gate. I think he's, 1 off in the Lost Zone from being able to do that. Has he used his Comfey yet? He has not. Yeah, so he can Comfey now. Gets rid of the other big Parasol. That's fine. You already have 1 on the Goodra that you have in play, so that's perfectly okay. And now you can Mirage Gate and attach for a turn on your bench, and then scoop up net your active, and then just hit for 200. That seems pretty good. So here comes the Mirage Gate. Actually, no. Looks like he's going in for the Radiant Greninja this turn. He doesn't have another Water Energy in hand to attach to... Oh, but he does have a second Mirage Gate. Oh, boy. So, yeah, maybe put a Metal on Goodra and then a Water on Greninja? Yeah, it looks like that's where we're going. I like this play. Because now you could take out the Drizzile and one of the Sobbles, take 2 prize cards. And make sure that kind of cripples Ian's setup. Yeah, I'm not sure how Ian exactly recovers from that, because he'll only have 1 Sobble in play to be able to get his stuff going, and he definitely needs to be able to do more Crabominable plays. Although always attacking with Radiant Greninja is a big resource investment. Yep, does exactly that. We're going to see the Hisuian Heavy Ball from Ian to grab the Manaphy. So the Manaphy was prized, so he couldn't bench it to prevent Nick from doing that play. Well, now you can prevent him from doing it. Ian has maybe like a boss or something, he can bring up the Goodra and hit it really hard. He could always just knock out the Radiant Greninja, and that'll make it so Nick has less options to draw cards. Oh, looks like the Roxanne is coming out. This is huge for Ian. Puts down the Articuno, likely so he doesn't redraw into it, but having it on the bench at this point is fine since you have so many open bench spots. Whether you're going to use it or not, it's fine just having it there. That way your deck is 1 thinner, you're more likely to draw into what you want to see off your Roxanne. Nick only gets 2 cards, and then it'll be his draw for turn as well. So 3 total cards he'll be seeing on his next turn. If he gets another energy and Ian doesn't knock him out, then maybe he can dig deeper with the Greninja, but that's not happening. So yeah, really unfortunate for Nick that Ian was able to get that Roxanne play off. But of course, you know, Ian's playing Drizzile, so it's bound to happen. checking the discard thoroughly, seeing what resources have been used. Just gonna Marnie, putting the stadium on the bottom of the deck. If it was something like Judge, I think I would have played the stadium. But since it's Marnie and you know it's going to the bottom, I think it's fine to hold on to it to try to bump the training court later. Still not much going on in Nick's hand there. It's like capture energy, maybe getting another Goodra. I don't even know. Another Comfey, just for more consistency to try to draw out of these abysmal, god-awful hands. I don't think he's used the other bench Comfey, so he has potentially 2 more Comfeys at least. He does have a Goodra in hand. He's going to retreat, flower selecting, get rid of a Comfey, get the scoop up net. You can scoop up net, go into the 3rd Comfey and use that if you really want to see deeper. But nope, just going to pass there. Evo Incense for Inteleon. For boss, scoop up net. Bringing up the Hisuian Goodra. If Ian plays something like Path to the Peak in this deck, this would be great to put down now. And another reason why Nick conserved that Temple of Sinnoh. But it looks like we're not. Because that would shut off the Moisture Star. I know Palkia decks at one point were playing 1 Path, 1 Temple of Sinnoh, or just 1 Training Court, 1 Path, etc., etc. Sometimes they don't even play any stadiums. We get the next Goodra down with the water energy on it, and Nick's just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore, I scoop. So yeah, that started off as a game that it looked like Ian had no chance of winning, and then he just went and won it anyway. And you could see the look on his face. He's happy and joking about it. He's like, oh yeah, I didn't think I was going to win that game. I got lucky. That's probably what he's saying. That sounds like something Ian would say. It's like, oh man, I can't believe I pulled that out. I just got really lucky off that Roxanne. It's like, if you drew anything, I died. So we do see Double Sobble and Crabominable and the Manaphy prized yet again. This is a lot of Pokemon for Ian. That's not ideal. Nothing too super relevant from Nick here. We haven't seen the Articuno do anything in either of these games, so the big Parasol being prized might not be that bad. We do see finally a good start of Ian with that Palkia. Well, I guess maybe not 100% ideal because he is going second. Maybe it would have been better to have a Sobble active to keep calling or something. We do see the Comfey start from Nick though, and that's ideal. Already gets the Radiant Greninja down as well, was able to draw 2 cards, now has the Battle VIP pass. So if somebody has both the energy for the Radiant Greninja to discard and draw 2 and the Battle VIP pass in hand, I would say that you want to use the Greninja before the Battle VIP pass, just in case you draw into one of the Pokemon you would have Battle VIP passed for, then you have an additional Pokemon you can Battle VIP pass for, like essentially. Make sure there's as many Pokemon in your deck to potentially draw off the Greninja as possible in order to set yourself up better. It depends, unless you're trying to mitigate the Palkia's damage and you want to be less set up, in which case then use the Battle VIP pass first to reduce the amount of Pokemon that are in your deck. So again, Capacious Bucket gets 2 water energies. Attach a water energy for a turn. Oh god. And Ian uses the... what's it called? The first attack on the Palkia to search for a stadium card, which is the Lost City. Rule the Region, I believe it's called. Took me a second to remember that. Hisuian Heavy Ball from Nick here. He could really get going this turn and just punish Ian for that bad start. It would have been nice if Ian was able to get at least 1 or 2 Sobbles down. It would have been great if he had something like a Battle VIP pass. Looks like Nick fails his Hisuian Heavy Ball, reshuffles the prize cards, and puts them in a much more pleasant order, I would say. Okay. Apparently my Siri listened to me somehow and started searching up Hisuian Heavy Ball. Quick Balls for the Cramorant, discarding Temple of Sinnoh, that's probably fine. Although you do know that Ian has the Lost City, so maybe you want to replace the stadium so that your stuff doesn't get Lost Zoned, but then also, do you really care if your Cramorant gets Lost Zoned? Like, that's just 1 more on the Lost Zone count for you. So it really just helps him. So Evo Incense coming out. Ian probably just went for that to thin his deck. Maybe he can discard it with a Research or something if he's even playing Research. Evo Incense to grab Palkia V-Star. Taking some notes on what his prize cards are. Yes, we are still listening to music. Thank you. Don't pause on me. Ian's checking his opponent's discard pile as well. Evolves. He's going to have to get more into the board, though. Boss up the Goodra and just, what, smack it? I mean, that's not awful. That's not the worst play that Ian can do. They have 8 minutes left. This game could finish, especially if Ian doesn't get much else. And yeah, because of that boss, that buys Ian another turn. He can just 2-shot this Goodra, thin his deck even more with the Capacious Bucket. Maybe he'll finally have an out to another Pokemon in play. This is the thing, though. Do you actually knock out? He does. Oh, boy. So that Cramorant could come up and hit you again, I guess. How much does Goodra V's attack do? Because that could be relevant this game. I think it's like 130. No, just the 110. Ian's able to live. Gets 2 bench Pokemon. Oh man, that was heart pounding. And just hits you. That was really good. Ian may have intentionally held those Pokemon too, knowing that Nick couldn't do anything about it. Just risked it for the biscuit, essentially, you know. Also, attaching that additional water energy to the Palkia is good, just in case it does get knocked out. If you get another V-Star, that's the full 3 energy that you can get off the V-Star power. Looks like we're gonna loss on the V-Star. I mean, it was either that or I think the... what was it? Mirage Gate? You want to keep the Mirage Gate so that you can actually attack with that Goodra in the future. It would be nice if Nick played Sableye or something like that in his deck, but I don't believe he does, because you would need Psychic Energy. And I don't believe Goodra ever plays any Psychic Energy. So, the Mirage Gate does get that Greninja set up a little bit. We're going to evolve into the V-Star, attach return on the Greninja. We are going to knock out both bench Pokemon at the same time with the Greninja. So again, Nick definitely knows what he's doing. But again, very resource intensive. Ian knew that there was a Sobble in his prize cards, has the heavy ball to get it, so that he can bench that down. Benches the Manaphy he was able to already pull off his prize cards. Attaches for turn, Raihan to attach to his active. And now he can search his deck for any one card. He might be going for the V-Star, potentially. I don't even think he has to get the V-Star, honestly. He can just hit with the 200 attack. Hydro Break during your next turn. This can't attack 200. He might do it. He might do that on the Greninja. Oh boy. He's gonna Lost City, so he can Lost Zone the Greninja. And yeah, just hit it for 200, my lord. Get rid of that Greninja forever. I always love watching Ian play because he is just so skilled. The two of them, really, in my opinion, but especially Ian. So we do have the Colress's Experiment. Maybe we can start digging our way back into this game, which is funny to say. Nick's only down one prize card. Does Lost Zone that Drapion yet again. He has a huge hand as well, with Mirage Gate and everything. He should be able to attack with the Goodra this turn, but like, honestly, what do? Ian's still going to have 2 more turns of that Palkia. Or one more turn to attack with that Palkia before it goes down. We do see the Ordinary Rod shuffling back in some Goodras and Energies. Oh, we do see the Roxanne as well. That could be deadly for Ian. Let's see if Nick's Roxanne hurts as much as Ian's did in the previous game. So we do Lost Zone yet another Goodra. I do think that that's fine. I mean, that's the one that he just Ordinary Rodded back into his deck. You only really can afford to power up this one more anyway. Especially since Ian's at 2 prize cards anyway. If this one goes down, the game's over. We do see the Cramorant. That'll knock out the Manaphy here. And then it'll force Ian to potentially knock out the Cramorant. I don't know. I think I might have liked to see that Roxanne from Nick. I think that's gonna bite him. Yeah, we do see the training court get be replaced, and then Ian plays Roxanne. So yeah, did Nick play the Chorus on that last turn? I think he did, actually. I think he chorused into the Roxanne because I remember he lost zone to that Drapion. But it would have been great if he was able to Roxanne himself, because that would have punished Ian really hard. He would have had 3 cards to work off of in order to get like a Drizzile or something. And a quick ball away. Looks like the quick shooting Inteleon to get the Radiant Greninja. Gonna retreat, use the V-Star, and knock out both Comfeys on the bench for game with the Radiant Greninja. Basically out of nowhere. Look at Ian. Look at Ian. He's like, how did I win that match? He's like, how did I just 2-0 this man? He's like, I brooked so hard. I got so lucky. Look at his opponent. He's like, you piece of... Oh god. Ian's such a fun guy. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed this match as much as I did, because that was hilarious. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to do the comment, the liking, and the subscribing, and all that good stuff, and whatever. And I will see you, what is it, round 8 will be next, I believe? I think that was round 7. I should keep track better. Peace.